Ladies and gentlemen, dear organizers, dear participants, welcome. The world around us is evolving at an incredible pace, driven by technological advancements, shifting societal values, and growing concerns about the environment and social justice. As we navigate these changes, it is essential to consider how they affect our relation to technologies and how these changes are impacting online criminality and fraud. I would have loved to network with you all and witness the simulation addressing AI and fraud. Unfortunately, my agenda could not allow it. My name is Vincent Danjean. I am the head of the Cyberspace and New Technology Lab for the Innovation Center of INTERPOL Innovation Center. The Innovation Center helps law enforcement in our 196 member countries in addressing the technologies and their impact on crime and on investigations. We work closely with our internal police services, such as the Interpol Financial Crime and Anti-Corruption Center and our Cybercrime Directorate. I am mentioning those two units because they are the ones working specifically on frauds and scams, which is the topic for today. The close collaboration helps us prioritize our efforts in addressing technologies that are the most useful for our member countries and police around the globe. The Interpol Global Financial Fraud Assessment identified trends by regions, by technologies, and by criminal activities. But before I tell you more about the findings, I would like to underscore that victims must be at the heart of our preoccupations. If we do not support and respect the victims, crimes will continue to be largely unreported. At Interpol, we deliberately decided not to use the terms such as pig butchering. In our global financial fraud assessment, top crimes are related to business email compromise, romance scam, investment frauds, and advanced payment frauds. All have been boosted by the use of generative AI and the consequent proliferation of crime as a service. Not only do we see organized crime going transnational, we also see organized crime building strong synergies across continents, learning from each other, and for instance, duplicating the logistics of scams centers from Asia to Africa. Of course, our report corroborates the general consensus on the wider adoption of cryptocurrencies as a means of defrauding victims, as well as a means of large-scale money laundering schemes. We are witnessing a trend toward decentralized technologies, and encrypted online activities are posing a major challenge for law enforcement globally. As criminals increasingly use these technologies to conceal their activities, it becomes more difficult for authorities to access the data, identify, track, and prosecute criminals. Over the last couple of years, generative AI has achieved mass adoption and now plays a significant role in creating very credible scams and a tsunami of fake narratives. AI has enabled crime as a service for providing automated money laundering, fake identity documents to bypass online KYC, know your customer processes, create credible scams, and program undocumented families of malicious software. Police is overwhelmed with the amount of data to be analyzed and by the breadth of technological knowledge required from investigators and analysts. There are technical solutions law enforcement is or could use to face all of these challenges. Let us go through some of them. We use large language modeling and natural language processing to make sense of large amount of data, extract entity names, and analyze contents. We use solution providers who are dumping blockchain data or darknet data into large language models. With AI-aided pattern analysis, we can make sense of this data, identify criminal activities or malicious intents. But the problem law enforcement is facing with AI is known as the black box effect. We cannot reproduce or explain what AI is doing under the hood. In the judicial procedure, the defense has grounds to fail us because different tools would provide different results. In other words, the investigative leads given by AI are not sufficient to be ground-proof and can be challenged. The Interpol Innovation Center produced the AI Toolkit, a repository of 10 documents, helping law enforcement make ethical and responsible use of AI. To address these challenges, we need a multi-phased approach that involves government, corporations, civil society, and individuals working together. We must invest in education and awareness-raising initiatives to promote digital literacy and online safety. We must also develop more inclusive and effective strategies for tracking and prosecuting online fraud while respecting the rights of citizens for privacy and freedom of expression. Thank you and good luck for the work you have to do today.